All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the true sincere brethren around the four corners, pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked defiled kingdom with the word, and the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible. Alright, so I'm going to start off in the book of 1 Peter's. 1 Peter's chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So when you first come into this truth, don't focus so much on the meat of the scriptures, which is going into like Daniel 7, Daniel's 11, Revelations, different books in Revelations, different books in 2nd Esdras. Many books contain a lot of meat. Even going all the way back to Genesis, the book of Genesis contains a lot of meat, okay? And if you're not learned, if you're not skilled, a lot of things can throw you off, okay? So it's good as a amateur as myself to really bring out the milk. Okay, now although heavy scriptures, going into the meat, going into the history, all those things are beautiful. But when you first come into the truth, you want to focus more on the milk, focus more on trying to understand the basics. And then from the basics, you can move up from there. Now, I remember I was watching a Bruce Lee, it was a Bruce Lee series, and it was showing how when Bruce Lee was younger, before he knew Kung Fu, he was always kind of interested in fighting. So when it got to the point of him getting a trainer, he was kind of getting offended because his trainer was making him do small things, petty things as he would see it. And in his mind, it was like, well, what's the point? I don't want to do this. I want to do what y'all are doing. I want to be able to do, pretty much the fancy stuff that other martial artists are doing. You're making me do stupid stuff. But nevertheless, it was his master's way of training him, starting him with things that may seem little or things that may seem vain, which really aren't. Because when we tell you you're an Israelite, and then when you hear it a million times over and over again, you may feel like it's vain because it's the milk, but really it's the milk of the scriptures that's going to nurture and nourish you up to be a strong, full-grown man spiritually. Okay? So as newborn babes in this truth, quit trying to be like Elder Apostle Tahar. Quit trying to be like Elder Apostle Gabar and other men, in this truth who can get into heavy breakdowns. If you're pretty new into this thing, just focus on trying to get the basics. Focus on reading. Focus on trying to remember the basic scriptures. You have many men, they come into this thing and they want to, be that guy. They want to be known for breaking down deep scriptures. They want to be known for having all the mysteries. But then when it comes to the milk scriptures, they can't even get the basic understanding with that. Okay, so if you're sincere when you first come into this truth, you should focus on the more simple matters of the scriptures, not things that are too much for you. Okay? 1 Peter's 2 and 2 again. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word. So when you're a newborn babe, if you was a newborn babe in a physical sense, when you first come out of your mother, you're not eating meat. You're not eating things that would make you choke. You have to stick to milk. Okay, so when you're in this truth and you first come in, you have to stick to the milk, because if you go to things too heavy or too deep for you, it can cause you to overthink, overanalyze, which can cause you to be confused and to never be able to further yourself into this truth, because your focus is on the wrong things instead of focusing on the basic things. You have people, they want to start from the top and then work their way up higher. You have to start from the bottom and work your way up. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he can increase you quickly, because if the Lord's dealing with you, he can make you a man of quick understanding. But why are we men of quick understanding? Because men who have been in this truth, okay, who have came into this truth, and at one time they were babes, grew up to be full-grown men into this truth, based off of the knowledge that they give us, they're able to increase us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai very quickly, okay? But nevertheless, focus on simple scriptures. Focus on basic breakdowns. And a good breakdown, for a good example of a basic breakdown, is Deuteronomy 28, going into the curses, all right? When you go into Deuteronomy 28, there is so much in-depth history on how we are the Israelites. It proves that we are the Israelites in the book of Deuteronomy 28 alone. Okay, now that's milk. All right? As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. All right? I'm going to jump to the book of Hebrews. 5 and verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk, and not of strong meat. So when you first come into this truth, you have to be retaught. Now, for me to be on this camera and to be able to teach the scriptures, it wasn't because I opened the Bible on my own and all these great mysteries were just given to me. I still need teachers. I still need guidance, man. Okay? I've been out here on the highways and byways teaching for about, man, let's see, I'm 30 now. I came into truth at 25. So I really can't be exact, because I started teaching when I was 25. And, you know, so let's just say roughly 4.5, 5 years. Okay, give or take. 4.5, 5 years. I still need teachers. I still need to be guided. Okay, I still need help. All right, just because I'm out on the highways and byways and I'm teaching by myself, there is no way that I can do this without other brethren out there who are doing what I'm doing. Starting from the elders and the apostles on down to the rest of the men, I need all you brothers, man. I can't do this on my own. You know, I need help. Even still being a teacher, I need help. Every day is a learning process, and I want to get better. You know what I'm saying? So us, when you first come into this truth, you know, us who have a little bit of experience can pretty much be a witness to this. But when you first come into the truth, don't try to move so quickly. Don't try to skip past all the milk and jump straight to the meat, because you're going to choke and you're going to die. AKA, you're going to fall out the truth, man. You're going to mess yourself up. Okay? Don't overthink. Don't overanalyze. Keep it simple. Start with the basics. From the basics, work your way up. Okay? When you work out, let's say you haven't worked out in months or weeks or years, whatever. When you first start, you don't just start out, you know, doing 200 push-ups. You don't just start out, you know, burning yourself out. You start out small. You go in increments. So in this truth, you want to start in increments and work your way up. And after you start to remember certain scriptures, you can, you know, pick up on other ones. And then once you start to remember them, you pick up on other ones. Because this is a very, very huge book. So there's scriptures you might try to, you know, pull out the top of your head, and you just can't, because it's easy to forget. All right? So it's already hard enough to try to remember the milk scriptures, but you have men, they just want to skip all that and say, to hell with that. I want the deep mysteries. Let's jump into reincarnation. I don't want to hear that I'm an Israelite. Let's go into reincarnation. Okay? Oh, I don't want to hear about how America's Babylon. In fact, tell me how Yahweh Shai was King Solomon. People get messed up. Okay? Just off of bringing out the meat. Hell, bringing out the milk, people get messed up. How much more the meat? Okay? So you have to be retaught, and you have to start out with the milk. You know, that's part of being reborn. Okay? Hebrews 5:12. For when, for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God. So in order for me to be in the position that I'm in now, to be able to teach, to be able to hit the highways and byways, I was taught this truth, man. There ain't nothing special about me to where I opened a book on my own and it was like, oh, wow, I'm an Israelite. Oh, man, I'm from the tribe of Judah. Oh, wow, I'm just reading. Oh, wow, turns out America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. No, we had to be taught these things. That's just how the Lord works, okay? Because this truth was given unto us. It's a gift, man. Okay, it's a gift. We need milk. We need the milk. This is Wisdom of Solomon. And I'm going to start at verse 20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. So it's good to desire wisdom, because desiring wisdom is going to bring us the kingdom. Okay, it says in the scriptures how knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. That's what's going to get us through the time of Jacob's trouble. So it's good to desire wisdom, but don't desire things that are too much for yourself. Don't try to jump from A all the way to Z, and you only been in the truth for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Hell, even 5 years, 6, 7 years. Okay, you really don't make a deep imprint in this truth till like what, 9, 10 years? Okay, I'm a babe in this truth. Hell, even if I'm in the truth for 10, 12, 15 years. Okay, there's always room for improvement. There's always room for learning. Okay, and as a man, I speak as a man. All right, but I also speak in the spirit. I need teachers, man. And even when I get older in the truth, I believe I'm going to always need teachers. I'm going to always need some kind of guide, just because this truth is everlasting. This is rivers of living water. You have our elders and the apostles who've been in this truth 30 years, 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, and they're still learning. How much more men who have only been in this truth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years? Okay? Yeah, we're up and coming elders, but to hell with all that. Until then, we're babes, man. Until then, we are pretty much to focus on the milk of the scriptures, because a lot of men, they come into this truth and they've been in for about 4, 5, 6 years, and they always want to get into them deep ass breakdowns. and they totally mess themselves up. It's good to know them deep breakdowns. Okay? Yeah, I know some meat scriptures. There's scriptures I could break down that's meat. Of course. But we have to remember that there's elect that's being woke up out there who need to start off with milk. They have to be built up. They have to be built up properly, the right way. Okay? So it's good to desire wisdom. Just make sure that when you desire wisdom, keep it in balance. Don't desire way more than what you can obtain, I should say, I guess, is what I'm looking for. Don't desire more than what's required of you for your position. Okay? With time, you're going to learn. With time, if the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is dealing with you, you're going to increase with time regardless. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 20 again. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. So we have to seek for wisdom, honor wisdom, because it's through the wisdom that we are going to receive the kingdom. But with knowing that, don't focus on things too hard for yourself. Focus on things that's appropriate for your age group in this truth. So I've been in this truth, let's say 4.5 years. I've been teaching for 4.5 years. Okay? Now, through this period of me teaching 4.5 years, roughly, although I desire wisdom, I don't desire more than what's required of a man in my position. I'm a babe in this truth. I could break down the scriptures quite well compared to most people in this world. But there's men in this truth who will run laps around me, even knowing the things that I know. There's always somebody wiser than you, okay? But guess what? Those men, I follow those men. I follow great men. I follow men who have been in this thing longer than myself. That's a part of this truth. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, I guess it's not good for most of us to know that we are, compared to the rest of this world, we are the wisest men on earth. But that's not good for most of you. You want to be the top Israelite. You want to be the top man altogether. But it's not good enough that out of all the people, out of the majority, you were given this wisdom. You know? You can't just be content and allow the Lord to build you up through time, through increments, man. Because we're like roses. Okay, we're like a garden. A garden doesn't grow overnight. As we're being watered, as we're being nurtured, day by day, we're growing in increments, man. Okay, we're not growing 5 inches every day. Okay, so I think I'm gonna close out right there. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the true sincere brethren around the four corners, pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked defiled kingdom with this word, and the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. All right, Shalom.